Hello YouTube, Herman here, and today I'm talking about something very controversial. Probably not, because no one watched the videos, my videos. But today I would like to address something I saw earlier, talking about how Battlefield 1 should incorporate women into the multiplayer. Because and I more specifically saw this video on the No, and I'll be addressing some points in there that their video said. First and foremost, you should know about me is I'm a very big history buff. Very much so. And when the No insert clip here.
But when we're talking about accuracy and authenticity, putting women on the battlefield, no pun intended, well maybe pun intended, was an actual thing that did happen in World War I. So the authenticity angle might not even make that much sense here.
A number of world powers incorporated women into their armed forces, including the Ottoman Empire, Russia, and even the US Navy. So if you're really going for realism here, guys, maybe those armies should have playable women.
I would like that, like just some of them have, yeah, anyway, it's because,
So right there is incorrect to say that. Women had complete supportive roles. They had no combat roles whatsoever. You would not see a woman running around on the battlefield fighting. It just didn't happen back then. Now, disclaimer before I go any further with this. I'm not trying to say women can or cannot or any of that nonsense. I'm just saying what historically happened. It didn't happen. And you can't argue that. My second point is that multiplayer already has a suspension of disbelief because you can't do everything in multiplayer that you can in single player. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you can't do that because multiplayer doesn't have a story mode. But if you want to just add stuff that wasn't there at all during that particular battle, like, for example, they say in Battlefield 3 and Battlefront that there were women able to go in those games. Well, number one, in Battlefield 3, that timeline has never happened and never will happen. Battlefront never has happened, never will happen. So yeah, you can add that in there. It would make sense to add it in there. It doesn't make any sense, though, to have women in World War I when there wasn't, because it's a historical fact. Now, obviously, in that match, that fantasy battle you're having doesn't affect what is actually happened in World War I. Yeah, obviously. I think that's what they were trying to get at. Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have a little belief. I mean, if you want to go that way, why don't you throw Panzer and Tiger tanks from World War II into World War I? It just doesn't belong. Yeah, it doesn't have any effect on the real world or the main storyline or anything like that. Yeah, so why not? Or why don't you have fighter jets? Why don't you have giant nuclear bombs being dropped? Why can't you do that? Because it doesn't make any sense in the game. It didn't happen in the game. It didn't happen in real life. If you want to have a World War I realistic game, then you gotta follow the storyline a little bit. You gotta follow it to a T. Another point they said, it's not really a point, but it's a statement that really got under my skin. It's 2016. So just do it. It's 2016, so go kill my neighbor because it's 2016. Just saying the date, just saying the current year doesn't change anything. Yeah, it's 2016, but in the game it's 1912. I'm not sure if that's the exact date that this timeline. I don't even know off the top of my head what years. I know it's the 1910s. I'm not sure what years World War I took place, but it's the 1910s. Okay? It's not 2016 in the game. It's the 1910s. 1910s, not 2016, okay? So yeah, 2016 now, you can change the game however you like. But if you want to have it historically accurate, or accurate under any definition, you just can't have women. It's like you can't have the 2016 Chevy Impala in the game because it wasn't around back then. It like, where's the line stop? It's not that big a deal, but I think it's important enough where I find if I want to play a game about World War One. I wanted to have it believable. And having women running around the battlefield just didn't happen. There were nurses, battle nurses, and supportive role with making ammunition and whatnot. Unless you want to have that kind of feature in the background. I mean, the only real battlefield group was initiated by the Soviets, I believe, and for 1 year, I believe they had the women in battlefield roles, unless it's taking, and it was just and they were disbanded that same year. So unless you just want to refer to the Soviets having women if you really need them that bad, I mean, to me to even mention it about one not having women in the game is just so small. Why did anyone have to bring it up? I think it's one of those things that they want to do it just because they want to do it. That's one thing I noticed about the gaming community lately. They want to call, or even the YouTube community, the internet, they make mountains out of molehills just to make something out of it. Like, there's quite a few examples I don't really care enough to get into. I just find it a little interesting. So those are my thoughts about women in Battlefield games. Battlefield 1. I don't care if you put in any other Battlefield game. But if you're going to have a game about World War 1, World War 2, Vietnam War, Korean War, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, or the French Revolutionary War, have it accurate, or don't do it at all. Thank you and goodbye. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, like and subscribe anyway, because I'm desperate. I'm gonna try to do some more reviews. I don't have too much to review. I'm gonna review some games probably, and I might record some more Hearts of Iron. Yeah, so that's that. Thanks for watching.